got a project she started, which I'm trying to help her with, to write to 30 or so leading thinkers who would be or interested in that question, and have them write what they have to say about consciousness being primary, and put all that together as a book. I mean, I think it's a very important area. It's counterintuitive, though. I mean, it took me a long time to get that. No, man, yeah, have consciousness. Consciousness is what we think with our brains, right? Without our brains, no consciousness. That's the way I was trained. You know, the idea that there's consciousness. The universe has intelligence and consciousness and creative power that isn't simply a projection of the human brain. It took a long time for me to get there. So, you know, I can't expect everyone to just get that, you know, like you got it. You know.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
On the reptilian image, one thing, couple of things I noticed in dealing with censorship of art and so on. For instance, the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo deliberately had a snake biting the penis of one of the Medici, because the Medici had tried to censor the erotic aspects of his painting and didn't succeed, in effect, to say. And also I noticed in the 19th and early 20th century, the Boston Watch and Ward Society, which was banned in Boston into our vocabulary, had as its symbol someone choking a snake. Could you comment on serpents, for instance, in those contexts, particularly Michelangelo's use of a serpent attacking a penis as a means of dealing with, of his expressing his opinions of one of his would-be censors?
Well, I can't speak for Michelangelo. I don't know.
But I mean, what do you think was going on in his unconscious mind?
But the thing, or I'm resonating with what you're saying, is I think particularly in the Judeo-Christian history, that dimension of ourselves, the snake, serpent, the instinctual part of ourselves, has to a great degree been suppressed, repressed, whether it's by whoever, and that one of the ideas that as you know, I'm working with here now is that this is erupting. You cannot repress something that real, that powerful, without it coming back to you in all kinds of different forms. And I think that this whole reptilian phenomenon is a return of it. But it doesn't mean it's just the psyche, and it's, again, not that it is also real in a material sense. Again, that breakdown between the material world and the mythic world, that separation we've made there. I have a concept which I call reified metaphor, which is that something that can be both metaphoric and physically real at the same time. But again, that's not the way I was raised to think. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is about dragons. I've had some very positive interdimensional experiences with dragons, in that what they've said is that they were part of the creation of the earth, and currently, well, they went to sleep for a while, meaning they became inactive, and in this time when the new earth is being created, they're waking up again. And what I've experienced with them is that we can work with them to recreate the earth's the grid lines, the ley lines, and so on. They can work with clearing these very quickly and amazingly if we meld our consciousness with them. And I'm curious to see what you have heard or experienced in this regard.
Well, again, I mean, I think it's useful that I don't know what your culture is, but I suspect it's not only Western, white, male-dominated culture, that you have more connection with the culture in which the serpent energy, the dragon energy, there's a more positive relationship to it, not just the male thing of, suppressing it. And, women, women have a much, this is a secret, have a much more comfortable relationship with the actual serpents. I remember when I used to go with my kids to the serpentarium in Miami, and we'd go down, and the boys were all kind of scared of those snakes, and the girls just loved to wrap them around themselves, and they had, but it's cultural too, in part. It's not just biological. Ken Wells, who is a writer who grew up and he's written a book about his experiences in the bayous, in Louisiana, which is just teeming with reptiles and crocodiles, and there's somebody called Crocodile Annie that everybody knew, and he would He loved snakes, he said. He had talked about a big 7 or 8 foot serpent that he, came to terms with. Everybody, a lot of people, when he go north, were scared about it. But because he lived with him, he had a more positive relationship. And he loved to bring the snakes into the classrooms. And the girls thought it was great. Again, the boys, they're not so comfortable with it. So I think that it's closer to the female, the Kundalini energy, the basic female nurturant energy, and that I think this harsh, male, aggressive that aspect of the dragon energy is a masculine matter. I mean, I'm just sort of beginning to play with this, so but thank you. Yeah.
Hi, I have a couple
You done?
questions.
We done?
We have run out of time.
Oh.
John will be out front, so he can answer a
Yeah,
couple
one
more
more?
questions
One more?
privately.
Do we have one more?
Out of tape.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, thank you very much, John. We're running a little bit over, so we'll start James Gilliland at 10 minutes after 8. John will be out front. We do have some of his books available at the book and tape table, and John will be available to sign them for you. And you can ask a few more questions privately. We'll take you in the back.
Yeah, sometimes these